The game is won before it's played. Know your opponent. Welcome to Legendary Game Changers.
Freedom over everything. Don't let power trap you. In this world, there's no currency more valuable than your freedom. Lose it, and all the power you think you hold crumbles like sand in your fists. True power isn't just control over others. It's the ability to move freely, to make your own choices, and to play the game on your own terms.
Legendary Insight.
Freedom is your first treasure. Don't trade it for a moment of false power. A man who can move freely is a man who can think, act, and strategize. But the moment you let ego or impatience push you into impulsive decisions, you risk it all. Those who seek power recklessly often end up in chains, both literal and metaphorical. Remember, a king locked in his own castle is no freer than a pawn trapped in a cell.
The Game Changers Moment.
There's a lesson I learned early, watching a man we called Silk J. Jay had the streets on lock. Money, influence, women, everything most cats dream about. But he had one fatal flaw. He equated control with invincibility. One night, Jay gets word that someone's been running their mouth, threatening his reputation. Instead of handling it smart, sending a message without leaving a trace, Jay decides to make a statement. In broad daylight, he rolls up on this guy, lets his ego do the talking, and pulls the trigger. The streets buzzed with fear and respect, but the law, it was already watching. 2 weeks later, Jay was in cuffs, sentenced to life for a moment of false power. He traded decades of freedom for 10 seconds of revenge. The streets might remember him as a legend, but legends don't mean much behind bars. Freedom was his greatest treasure, but he let the illusion of control blind him. The real power was in restraint, in playing the long game. He learned it too late.
The strategy.
To protect your freedom, follow these steps. 1. Play it cool. Never act out of anger or emotion. A hothead is easy to trap. 2. Move in silence. The loudest moves bring the most attention. Power thrives in the shadows. 3. Think long-term. Short-term victories often come with long-term costs. Always ask, is this move worth my freedom? Know the rules. Whether it's the streets or the corporate world, know what lines you can't cross without heavy consequences. Freedom allows you to stay in the game, protected at all costs.
Power in action.
Consider the story of Nelson Mandela. Before he became a global symbol of freedom, Mandela was a young revolutionary leading the fight against apartheid. He understood the stakes. Freedom wasn't just a personal treasure, it was the foundation for all power and change. When he was arrested and faced with life in prison, Mandela could have traded his freedom for a false sense of power, agreeing to conditions that compromised his mission. But Mandela knew that true power wasn't in bending to his oppressors. It was in maintaining his integrity and strategic vision. Even behind bars, he moved with purpose, using his limited freedom to influence, organize, and inspire. When he was finally released after 27 years, he stepped into a world where his discipline and strategic thinking had positioned him as a true leader. His freedom was never lost because he never traded it for a fleeting moment of control.
The trap to avoid.
The trap? Letting pride, anger, or desperation push you into impulsive decisions. One wrong move can cost you everything. Never confuse temporary dominance with real power. It's a mirage that leads straight to captivity.
Modern application.
Today the game's still the same. Whether you're hustling in the streets or climbing the corporate ladder, don't let ego or impatience compromise your freedom. In business, don't burn bridges out of frustration. In life, avoid the quick schemes that come with heavy risks. Every decision should secure your freedom, not threaten it.
Legendary takeaway.
True power starts with freedom. Protect it, guard it, and never let a moment of weakness trade it away. Freedom is the foundation. Lose that, and the game is over.
Be the lion on the chessboard. Command respect, plan your moves, and lead with power. Subscribe, like, and share today.